Hi, Judith. Thank you for ordering a reading with me today. And your question is about your ex, Bill, and what he was thinking, what was going on when he told you that he did not want to be in a committed relationship. He couldn't be with one woman. Beautiful pictures, by the way. You look like a gorgeous couple. But I will say, though, you want to know the cards will tell you, did you do the right thing? And tarot can't tell you, you should do this, you should do that. Tarot can only tell you what will happen in general, and it's up to you to decide what to do. So it's not like there's a right or wrong, answer here. Um, so that's, yeah. So it just help guide you. So I'm going to look at, I'm shuffled the cards already, and we're going to look at Bill, and we're going to look at what he was thinking at the time when the two of you split up, when he did not want to commit and basically told you, I don't want to be in a serious relationship or committed relationship. So we're going to look at it from his perspective. Okay, what was he going through? What was he thinking? Why did he say that? The two of you obviously had a very close relationship. So why would he say that? All right, his general attitude at that time went towards your relationship with him. I get the moon, major arcana. Now, the thought I get is that he felt the two of you were too crazy in love. Like, it was so emotional. And I think that he felt that it made him irrational. And he didn't want, it was too powerful for him. I think he felt like it made him a little crazy. And he was like, I need some stability. I need some calmness. And I think it was too much for him. And it scared him a little bit, I think, is what I'm getting here. Yeah. Pressures he was feeling. I get Ace of Coins. So this is a starting, Ace of Coins is like starting a new business, starting a new job, purchasing new land. So there was a lot of financial pressures on him, starting a new company. I think you mentioned that you and him were both working on your own companies. So he was at that point, I believe, very concerned about making money, about getting his business going. And he didn't want any distractions. He didn't want, to have this emotional intensity. I think he felt that he felt financial pressures, and he wanted to focus on his career, making money. It looks like just basically something, his company there, because I guess you both had companies. He was more focused on that. He didn't want to be distracted. The basis of the situation, I get, is judgment. So he felt that sooner or later you'd get back together. I think this judgment is sort of like coming alive again, meeting again. He knew that, or he felt that, it would restart again later at some point. He would call you, and you'd get back together again down the road. He expected to hear from you, I think. What triggered him? Why did he tell you he did not want to be in a committed relationship? And I get Five of Wands reversed. So this tells me there was some, I don't know, arguing around him, or unrest that was maybe that you didn't know about. People around him, his family, or some others that were causing trouble, arguments. Yeah, and this could also be, if he was owning a company, if he had people working for him, he was stressed out with that, and he didn't want to deal with any more stress on top of it. Yeah, but he didn't talk to you about it. I think he did. I think he didn't tell you about it. I think there were things he didn't tell you about. Obviously, he was keeping secrets. I don't think it was a relationship, though. I don't think he was in a romantic relationship with anyone. I just think he had a lot of problems with some people around him, maybe people competing with him or giving him problems. And he wanted, he felt was working on that, trying to work with that. What did he expect when he told you that he didn't want to be in a committed relationship? Yeah, he expected that, he was just going to things were gonna calm down. Like I said, I think he felt that he was too emotionally, attached, and I think it was too intense for him, and he just wanted this. This is like the blah card. This is like peace and calmness and whatever, and you see that there's a cup floating there, and he's ignoring it, and I think that's your relationship, and he closed off to it. He did not want to be in this intense relationship. It was too distracting for him. He wanted to calm things down. He didn't trust himself. I think he thought, he questioned his own state of mind there a little bit. What was he worried about in being in a relationship? I get the Six of Wands. So I don't know. I don't know if he's worried about you finding out about his past escapades, possibly. Um, Maybe he was worried that you found out something about his past. I do get Judgment. Now, Judgment can also mean he was afraid you would judge him about something that he did in the past, or who he dated in the past. So I do think that there was something possibly. It could have been a past relationship that he didn't want you to know about. What was he hoping for in a relationship? I get Seven of Swords reversed. He was hoping that you would come back and and he would tell you everything and that he would reveal to you what was going on, because he was a little bit sneaky. He didn't tell you everything, and he knows that. And he was hoping that you would find out somehow, or that that you would come back and find out. He wanted to explain himself to you. He did want to explain why he did what he did. How did he see you? I get the Chariot. Chariot. He saw you as very successful, going on to bigger and better things. He saw you as very powerful and sort of majestic, sort of, very strong, powerful force. You're a very strong personality, I get, and that you had very definite ideas, maybe political as well, or other things, but just very passionate, very strong. It was a very strong major arcana. You really affected him strongly. And I think that's the major thing. He didn't trust himself because he was so moved by you. Yeah. All right. So how did he feel soon after he broke it off with you? I get Ten of Coins reversed. He felt like, he started losing at his stability there. I think that, he lost the opportunity to have a family with you. The Ten of Coins is building a family up, and he lost that. And he knows that. And, a little bit of disappointment there, I guess, a little instability there, a loss. He felt a loss for sure, but it's not a major arcana though, so he just moved on from that. And towards the end, how he felt, Seven of Cups reversed. Yeah, he felt like he, didn't make the right decision. I think I'm getting that, he had all these ideas of what he expected to do in you, and I think it's very emotional here. He was emotional at the end. He's like, did I make the right decision? I think he questioned it sort of like you did. I think he also questioned himself, but he felt like at the time that this is the way he felt about how he ended it at the end. He felt like at the time it was the right decision. He felt pressure to make the decision. It was an emotional decision. And, I think that he realized that emotionally he just wasn't mature enough, possibly, or he wasn't in the right place. And for him, it was the right decision at the time. But it wasn't a reflection on you so much as him. He had there was some kind of drama here behind the scenes that maybe you didn't know about, arguing, fighting going on, possibly in his family or amongst his friends or coworkers, possibly. But there was a lot of arguing, and I don't know if it involved you or if they criticized you, but I get that there was a lot of arguing that he didn't tell you about. And things were really crazy. So I'm getting that at the time when he told you this, like, I don't want to see you anymore, things were really crazy. This is also barking mad. This is like barking everybody upset, and people making false accusations and say, what about this? What about that? Did you hear this? Did you hear she did that or something? Things got really crazy around him. when he was with you, and he felt overwhelmed by it, and he really had a lot of pressure to start his new business or keep working or making money. Maybe he was purchased land or something. There's a lot of pressure. He was under financial. He wanted to, keep his business going, and he didn't need this drama. Like, he felt he couldn't handle it. Yeah. And there is sort of a judgment down here. Now, I don't know if other people were judging you or if he worried that you would judge him. I do think possibly he felt you would come back again, though, and that the two of you would start your relationship down the road. Yeah. But he didn't expect it, though. He knows he missed an opportunity, a wonderful opportunity. He closed his arms to it and missed a wonderful opportunity here for a relationship. And as a result, it was a little bit disappointing. I think his family life and his work and everything was not as wonderful. He knows he missed out on the best opportunity he could have had. Yeah. There's something here about, now this is like victory. This is like winning, getting a lot of attention for something. Now this could also be getting attention for past relationships or things coming out. But there's somehow he did not want this. He didn't want this attention. I don't know if he felt that being with you brought on a lot of attention to the two of you. You were a very attractive couple. I don't know if he didn't like that. He didn't like so much attention. I don't know if you were much more outgoing. I get the impression that you were very outgoing and you kind of pushed him possibly to do things that he didn't want to do, perhaps. Not that you were being bossy or anything, but just that you had a certain way of doing things and wanting to do things, and you're very forceful about it. From his perspective now, I'm not, this is a positive upright card. So he looked very positively upon you. He didn't see that as a negative thing. And it could just be that you have a very strong, at the time of the breakup here, that you had a very strong ideas about what you wanted to do with your life and where you were going. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then there and there. And like, you had very strong goals, and you were a very strong-willed person, and he felt too pushed by that. I think he didn't like all the attention you brought on. I think the two of you together, I think a lot of people may have been talking about, oh, you two to stay together, and this what brought out arguing people or fighting or jealousies or whatnot, maybe. And he didn't tell you at the time, but he was hoping you would find out, or that he would have the opportunity to explain to you, what happened, what he didn't tell you, this arguing over here. So I do see he was disappointed in his life in general. He was focused. It's his own fault, though. He knows it was his fault. He made the decision, and his, business didn't, life didn't, he didn't have the life that he could have had. But at the same time, he felt at the time it was the right decision for him. He felt pressure to make this decision. So, even though it's his fault, he knows it was his fault that he made the decision, and he knew, you would go on and have a good life. And, yeah, he was too emotional at the time. He was too emotionally overwhelmed by you. And it's not necessarily your fault. It was his own emotions at the time. And he was just more focused on making money. So let's see, what did he want to, let me get my other cards here. Let me bring out my, Chronicles of Destiny card. These are good cards. So let's see, what was he hiding from her? What did he want you to know? What did he want you to find out? So first one I get is sinking ship. Sinking ship. So now this is interesting. Sinking ship is like being drowned in water, and water is like emotions. So I think somehow he felt like it was too much emotions going on. He felt too powerfully, and it was too overwhelming, and he didn't like it, just how it distracted him from making money or work. And so I'm getting a lot of strong emotions here from him, for sure. That was in the way, a lot of his emotional state at the time. Yeah, he wasn't, Again, a moon can also be deceptive as well. So he felt like he was a sinking ship at the time, which is loss of all kinds, but particularly financial loss or difficulties and failed plans. So I think there were some failures that maybe he was afraid to tell you about. Maybe his business wasn't going as well as he said it was. There's something there. I think it was business related. It looks like that he felt like he wasn't. If you found out how bad his business really was, you'd be, disappointed in him. I don't know, something like that. There's something that was sinking here. And again, it could just be him feeling overwhelmed and just drowning in emotions, too much emotions. It was too powerful again. It could be that as well. And the next one I get is the dragon, which is worries or anxiety, fears, real or imagined, are preventing you from moving forward. See, this is his fears. See, he feared this dragon. He had too many fears. It was all his imagination. Yeah, the dragon is an imaginary creature of myths and legends, usually depicted in fearsome fire-breathing monster. Yeah, so this was his fears. He had irrational fears. He was like, and he realizes that now. Is too much emotions. It was all him. Too much emotions and fears, and that's really what held him back. So again, I'm not seeing another relationship going on, but I am seeing around him that he was too strong emotions. His emotions were too powerful. Now this could be how he sees you. The next one I get is Lady Spring. So this would be green shoots of growth, new life, fertility, possible pregnancy and innocence, a new cycle, beginning, renewal. So as a timing card, it can be March, April, May. So this could be, I don't know if it happened in the March, April, May time that you split up. But it's about renewal. He felt that you would be better off without him, possibly. Spring is about renewal. In this card, this woman is playing the flute. This woman is playing the flute in the background. Maybe he felt like you would have a better life without him or something, or you would do well just fine without him. And the last card I get is Knighthood. So the last card to fall out is Knighthood. And that is awards, honors, promotion, recognition, approval from others. Someone holds you in high esteem and thinks highly of you. So he thought very highly of you. So it wasn't that he didn't like you or didn't think you were good enough or anything like that. He held you in very high regard. But I think, again, he had irrational fears. He was overwhelmed with his emotions, a sinking ship. I think it was too much. He was worried about his business too, suffering. And the dragon, he had these irrational fears. He was worried too much. He was worried about things that weren't even there. He was like, oh, if we get together, I'm going to be overwhelmed. I'm going to lose money and I won't be able to focus. I'll be so distracted and this and that. So it was him. He was worried about, he felt at the time he couldn't handle the relationship emotionally. There was something about attention he didn't want from others. I think it brought on attention from others that he didn't like. I don't know if there was somebody else that liked you. Maybe it was fighting with him in the background. I don't know. But I think in general, it could be his family. But there was some arguing around him that causing him headaches, and the relationship, apparently it changed him, and it made him so emotional. Maybe his family criticized him, like, what's the matter with you? Why are you so emotional? Cuckoo for this woman or something, and that you get back to work, do your business. So I do see that the considerations, the reasons he felt pressured to end it were because he wanted to focus on his business and making money. Yeah, but he knew you were a very strong person, and perhaps he felt you were too powerful an influence on him, is what I'm getting in the end. Yeah, you were much stronger character. He felt you were much more powerful than him in many ways, and he felt like he needed space in order to focus on his own business, is what I'm getting here. And he was sad. He was disappointed at the end. He knows that he made the wrong decision. He was like, he realizes now that at the end he realized that he, it was the right choice at the time, though. I would say that. Yeah. Yeah. He reflected on it a lot. I think he did think about it and think about, did I make the right decision? And I think that did haunt him a little bit. you know. So I think it did, but I think, you will find out one day, you know. So I don't, it was a little sad, but, I think that, like I said, he felt that at the time it was the best decision to make. So, um, what else we got? Fives, turmoil here, 4, 7. Okay, so I got 2 sevens, which can indicate. Well, it's like turmoil. Both of you feel 7 is a number of reflection, assessment, and motives, dreams, mastery, wants, hopes. So yeah, he wanted to explain it to you one day. He felt that he would, or that you would find out, and maybe you will. Maybe if you ask around, you'll find out. I think it might. I would look towards his family members first. I think they would know what was really going on with him at that time. Yeah. But yeah, so that is what I see. That's what I see. Again, I don't see another relationship. I just see business, coins, and I see that he felt too much emotional. He felt too emotional, and things were too crazy. He felt overwhelmed emotionally, and that felt things were getting too crazy around your relationship. And he didn't. He wanted. He felt he was being too. You were such a powerful influence on him. He wanted to. At the time, he wanted to break it off to have some peace and contentment and quiet. So he knows he lost a good opportunity there. But again, at the same time, he would defend it at the end, saying at the time it was the best decision for him and you, but for him mainly, I think. Yeah, but he wasn't thinking straight. He knows that now. He was the dragon. He was being irrational at the time. He wasn't thinking straight either at the time. I think he realized he regretted it later. I do believe that. You know, he just wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. And he wasn't thinking straight either. I think it was too. Things are too wild, too emotional. Yeah, it was an emotional based decision he made, and yeah, he may have been deceived about something too about you. But again, he thought he had very positive view of you at the same time. So he wasn't. It wasn't you. It was him. I get from this. All right, so that is what I see. I hope that helps. And thank you again for ordering a reading from me. And yeah, I think he felt, like I said, that he felt the same way as you. In the end, he's like, "Did I make the right decision?" You know, because this is about making a choice. Do I want this? Do I want that? And he felt forced at the time. Cups, emotions. He was very emotional at the time, and he thought he made the right decision at the time. But he questioned it afterwards. He questioned. He always questioned it. Did I do the right thing? So it haunted him as well, I think. You know. All right, so thank you again for ordering a reading. I hope this helps, and I hope you have a wonderful day. All right, take care. Bye-bye.